Saudi Arabia launched an airline with 130 aircraft on order before it carried a single paying passenger. That's not a startup. That's not ambition. That's a country declaring war on the most dominant aviation empire in the world and using a billion-dollar balance sheet as the weapon. This is the story of how Saudi Arabia is trying to replace Dubai itself, and the man they hired to do it already watched this exact plan fail once before. October 26th, 2025, a single Boeing 787-9 lifts off from Riyadh and touches down at London Heathrow. No paying passengers, every seat filled with airline staff and employees of a sovereign wealth fund. The plane is named Jamila, and it is the only revenue flight ever operated by an airline that already has 130 aircraft on order and a direct mandate from the Saudi Crown Prince to dismantle the most dominant aviation empire ever built. This isn't an airline story. This is geopolitical warfare conducted in business class. And to understand why Saudi Arabia chose this battlefield, you have to understand the man they sent into it. His name is Tony Douglas. He used to run Etihad. He spent 4 years watching Abu Dhabi pour billions into trying to break Dubai's grip on Gulf aviation. He failed. 5 months after leaving, Riyadh called, and Saudi Arabia did not hire a Saudi for this job. They found the one English-speaking executive on the planet who had personally lived inside the most expensive aviation failure in modern history and asked him one question: what did you need that Etihad never gave you? This time he gets the answer, but to understand why that question matters, you need to understand what Etihad actually was and how completely it collapsed. Abu Dhabi looked across the desert at Dubai in the late 2000s and decided it wanted the same thing, so it poured money into Etihad. It bought stakes in Air Berlin, Alitalia, Jet Airways, Air Serbia, Virgin Australia. The plan was a global alliance of carriers feeding traffic into Abu Dhabi. It failed catastrophically. By 2017, those bets had cost Etihad more than $3 billion in 2 years. $1.87 billion lost in 2016, another $1.52 billion in 2017. Air Berlin bankrupt, Alitalia collapsed, the equity partner strategy finished. That is the airline Tony Douglas walked into in January 2018. He didn't build the disaster. He was the man stuck running it while it shrank, cutting routes, grounding aircraft, watching Emirates fly the same A380s into the same airports completely untouched. By October 2022, when he left, Etihad was a fraction of what Abu Dhabi had promised it would become. Etihad tried to compete with Emirates. Saudi Arabia is trying to replace Dubai itself. That distinction is everything. So look at where Riyadh Air actually stands in May 2026. One plane, one route, 0 paying passengers. 3 years after launch, that is the entire commercial operation. And yet, 39 Boeing 787-9 Dreamliners on firm order, plus 60 Airbus A321neos, plus 25 Airbus A350-1000s. Options on top push the total fleet trajectory above 180 aircraft. Etihad, at its absolute peak, ran about 120 aircraft. Riyadh Air hasn't carried a single paying passenger, and it has already ordered more planes than Etihad ever flew. This isn't ambition. This is a statement. And the statement is backed by something Etihad never had: a chairman who answers directly to the Crown Prince and a sovereign wealth fund sitting on more than $600 billion in assets. The public investment fund does not need Riyadh Air to be profitable in year 5, or year 10, or year 15. It has to be operational, premium, and inconvenient for Emirates. That is the entire brief. This wasn't an airline anymore. It was geopolitical warfare in business class. Tim Clark, the president of Emirates, the architect of Gulf aviation's most dominant empire, has been asked about this directly. His public position is that he is completely unfazed. He told reporters at the IATA-AGM that he is not in the slightest bit worried. Bring it on. His argument is that Saudi Arabia has so much inbound demand from Vision 2030 mega projects, NEOM, the Red Sea resorts, religious tourism, that Riyadh Air will be too busy serving its home market to steal transit passengers from Dubai. That's the bet Emirates is making. Here's why that bet might be catastrophically wrong. Douglas described the math himself. At the World Travel Market in London, the population of Riyadh alone is 3.5 times the entire population of Qatar. And right now, the #1 premium traffic flow on Qatar Airways, business class, first class, lie flat suites, is Saudi passport holders. Qatar Airways' most profitable customers are Saudi. Because Saudi Arabia has no global premium carrier of its own, wealthy Saudis fly Qatar through Doha or Emirates through Dubai, filling Tim Clark's books with high-margin yields that by any logic of national interest were always supposed to belong to Saudi Arabia. Picture a wealthy Saudi businessman settling into a Qatar Airways lie-flat suite on his way to London. Every dirham of that fare flowing into Doha instead of Riyadh. Multiply that across millions of premium journeys every year. That is the revenue Riyadh Air exists to reclaim. Riyadh Air isn't trying to become Emirates. It's trying to slowly drain Emirates' most profitable passengers, one lie-flat suite at a time. And this is what Etihad never understood. Etihad chased volume. Douglas is going after the stream that pays for everything else. One route on the summer 2026 schedule reveals the strategy completely. Among the cities Riyadh Air filed for, Bangkok, London, Madrid, Paris, Manila, Mumbai, there is one entry almost nobody outside the industry registered: Riyadh to Dubai. Daily, a state-backed Saudi airline flying directly into Emirates' home airport, competing for the exact Saudi passengers Emirates depends on for premium revenue. That is not a scheduling decision. That is a declaration of war filed with a flight coordination committee. Riyadh Air isn't just building an alternative to Emirates, it's walking into Emirates' living room and introducing itself to Emirates' best customers. But the airline is only the most visible piece of something far larger being built underneath it. Dubai became the world's layover capital over 40 years. Riyadh wants to become the next version of that in a fraction of the time. In 2030, Saudi Arabia will open King Salman International Airport, 6 parallel runways. Designed by Foster & Partners, the firm behind Apple's headquarters, and Beijing's mega airport. 6 planes taking off simultaneously every 45 seconds. Opening capacity of 120 million passengers per year. By 2050, 185 million. Dubai International, the busiest international airport on Earth, handles around 90 million today. King Salman will open larger than Dubai International currently is on day 1. But airports don't fill themselves, so in 2021, Saudi Arabia told every multinational corporation operating in the Middle East something simple and non-negotiable: move your regional headquarters from Dubai to Riyadh by January 2024, or lose access to Saudi government contracts. PwC moved, Deloitte moved, Bechtel signed up. Northern Trust shifted $1.3 trillion in assets to Riyadh. Amazon, Google, BlackRock, Huawei, PepsiCo, IHG, Unilever all relocated their Middle East headquarters to the Saudi capital. The original target was 480 multinationals by 2030. By early 2026, more than 540 had already relocated. 4 years early, the economic center of gravity of an entire region is moving, and every corporate headquarters that leaves Dubai is another stream of premium business travelers that now originates in Riyadh. Stack it all together: the airline, the airport, the headquarters relocation, the sovereign wealth fund, the executive poached from Emirates' closest failed rival. 5 moves, one direction. The real threat to Emirates may not be another airline. It may be an entire country. In 2026, Tim Clark is 76 years old. He has run Emirates since 2003. The A380 fleet, Clark. The 10-hour one-stop hub model, Clark. The Real Madrid shirts, the Arsenal Stadium name, the gold-plated cabin product, all Clark. He has fought off Etihad, outlasted Qatar, survived 3 oil shocks, a pandemic, and the bankruptcy of every carrier that ever tried to copy him. In the same period, Emirates has greenlit its migration to Dubai World Central, a planned 260 million passenger capacity, the largest airport project in human history. 2 countries, 2 airports, 2 airlines, 1 war. None of this is guaranteed for Saudi Arabia. Boeing was supposed to deliver 8 787s in 2025 and delivered 4. If that underdelivery continues, the 130 aircraft order that makes Riyadh Air's ambitions seem inevitable starts to look like an impressive press release. And Riyadh, as a transit hub for international premium travelers, remains an unproven proposition. A London banker choosing to connect through Riyadh instead of Dubai is not today a natural decision. Douglas is 62 years old, running a 15-year project. The math on him personally finishing this is not great, but here's what makes this different from Etihad. The airport gets built, whether Douglas is there or not. The headquarters keep relocating, whether he's there or not. The 130 aircraft arrive regardless. PIF doesn't get tired. PIF doesn't need to show profit. PIF doesn't run out of patience. If Saudi Arabia succeeds, the center of Gulf aviation shifts away from Dubai for the first time in decades. Premium passengers reroute. Corporate travelers follow headquarters. The hub that Tim Clark spent 20 years building starts losing the one thing it cannot replace: the Saudi premium traveler who was always its most profitable customer. If Saudi Arabia fails, Riyadh Air becomes Etihad with better funding. Another cautionary tale about the limits of sovereign ambition in a market where brand trust and network depth take generations to build. The man who watched Etihad fail now has unlimited time and unlimited capital behind him. King Salman International opens in 2030. Tim Clark turns 81 the same year. The question is no longer whether Saudi Arabia is serious. The real threat to Emirates may not be another airline. It may be an entire country, and it's just getting started.